Hello, this is Login Locos, and welcome to part 2 of our weathering project. This is part of the community weathering project, and as you remember in part 1, we went through some of the rolling stock that we'll be weathering, both my daughter and myself. So she will be participating, as you may remember, and she's going to help me show what we have set up here in front of us right now. These are all the different supplies and tools that could be needed and that I like to have available to me for weathering. So let's go through each of the items that we have available and what we're going to be using. First, we have the brushes. So we have a different variety of brushes here: tall ones, short ones, small ones, fine ones, really fine ones, as well as harder bristle brushes for using on weathering powders and pushing them into the grooves. So those are all the brushes that we have, good variety. Next up, we have the weathering powders, and we have a set from Bragdon that we're going to be using, so different rust colors and the soot. And then up above that are packets from Bar Mills that we've used before, different rust colors again, and then the black one, that's the soot color. So those are the weathering powders that we're going to be experimenting with, and for the first time be using the Bragdon powders. In fact, I won these Bragdon powders for the from the YouTube Model Builders live show. So thank you for that, and we're going to be utilizing them here. Okay, here's our bucket of paints that we're going to be using paint from. This is a lot of paint, but you'll need very little. So we got a slew of different colors in here. We got, for example, yellow ochre, and we got a burnt sienna, and we got some washes also, liquid colors, and we all got some blacks, grays, and whites all in here. So we got a various of colors that we're going to be using to make the washes, particularly around the browns, the grays, the blacks, and the yellows are what we're going to be using. Okay, so we've now selected all our colors that we're going to be using. Primarily, we're going to be using some of the smaller bottles first, and then go to the other larger paint bottles if we need those colors. But this is a quick selection, as you can see. All right, here's a couple washes that we've made. The first one's a white wash, the basic white with some water in it and a squirt of Windex. And then the next one's a dark brownish, kind of muddy looking color, which goes for all kinds of dirt and grime. And that's just a bunch of browns, ochres, and umbers, and mixed in with water and again a squirt of Windex. Okay, we have some 91% isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to use this alcohol to mix with acrylic paints to make a different type of wash rather than with water and the Windex. It's going to be a mix of this alcohol and an acrylic paint that we showed you earlier. So this will give us a little bit more streaking effect, in particular for the hopper cars, and even on the box car we're going to try some of these effects and see how it goes. Also, we're going to mix some alcohol with the weathering powders to try to get a more of a paste going, so we can do a three-dimensional weathering effect or rusting effect. And we're going to be using these various bottles and containers to make the additional washes. It's always nice to have a mix of different bottle sizes and containers for this. For example, some of your favorite fast food restaurants have these little things for ketchup and mustard you can leverage, as well as some of these little trays that we've got here for mixing paint or for mixing weathering powders. Okay, we have some additional tools. First off, there's the magnifying head glasses used for close-up work. Next up, we have a pair of gloves to keep your hands clean. And also we have some Q-tips or cotton buds, toothpicks for trying to get paints into grooves, as well as various micro brushes. In addition to that, we have cosmetic sponges that we're going to be using for dabbing on paint or powders, paper towels to do any kind of wipe up and for dry brushing, and any additional trays, plastic, and some cardboard trays back there as well for keeping our paints or powders mixed up. In addition, we have a set of screwdrivers in case we have to take off the wheels off the rolling stock, as well as our knife kit in case we need that. And finally, we're going to be using the air brushes that are here. The blue one for my daughter and the red one for myself. We'll be using those washes that we've made, and we'll make some additional washes and use them inside the bottles and cups which attached to the bottom of the airbrushes, as these are bottom feed brushes. And finally, when we're finished weathering everything, we're going to give it a quick coat of Krylon matte finish to prevent any of the powders or any acrylic washes from coming off on our fingers. Now I want to thank my daughter for helping model this, and she did a great job with her little hands and showing up everything.
You're welcome, Daddy.
Oh, no, thank you very much. Also, we showed you a lot of different things here, and it doesn't mean you need every single item here that we've shown to do weathering, but we want to experiment. So we're going to experiment with washes, we're going to experiment with powders, and we're going to mix it up. So that's part of the fun, and that's part of the game, I think, of having fun with modeling. But in any case, we do have a little bonus surprise, and we'll show you that in just 1 second. As you may remember from part 1 of this video, my daughter's going to be working on that Swift car, and I'm going to be working on the Union Pacific Fruit Express, and then we're going to be working together on the California Super Chief. As a bonus surprise, we're going to be also weathering this unmarked tanker car that we got for about $5 at the train show. And so I think it'll be a lot of fun to weather this and work on it together, try to do the streaks on this. I think it'll come out really nice. And it's a beautiful car with brass wires on it, and for about $5, not a bad deal. So we'll wrap it up here, and then we'll start weathering, and we'll see you in the next video.